Hi everyone, how are you? It's Ingrid from Toronto, back with another lock update. So, I washed my hair about an hour and a half ago, and it's almost dry. The root is a bit damp. It's just a bit damp all throughout, but it's pretty dry. And I haven't gone outside. If I went out in the sun, I imagine it would dry even faster, right? But it dries really fast. You know why? Because I don't put oils in there. I think, so today I want to talk about the illusion that we have, that we think we need to moisturize our hair. Especially if you have 4D hair. So I drew this because I realized that we need another category of hair typing. And 4D is not represented in the charts, right? You've got 4A, B, C. And in any of the charts that I've seen, 4C is just like really tightly coiled. But 4D, not only does it coil, but then it kinks and bends, and then it coils and it zigzags. So if you've got my texture hair, then you know what I'm talking about. So let's add this. So I'm calling it 4D because I still don't see it represented, especially in the media and in marketing. You know, when they want to have the black kinky look to market their product, it's still not this texture hair. And that's okay. I think, you know, we as a people that have this hair, as we are learning to appreciate it and showcase it, then the marketing machine will reflect that. As you can see, there's shea butter in almost every hair product now because we realize, wow, shea butter works really well on our skin. It's the basis of all, you know, kinds of lotions. And so the marketing folks have tapped into it. And so now you see shea butter. Now you're even seeing apple cider vinegar included in some products. And I'm like, where did that come from? But from the locking community, with people that have buildup and have to, you know, soak their hair in apple cider vinegar. But I want to see 4D hair represented more. So why not me? I'm the one, right? I'm like Neo, I'm the one. So here I am, 4D hair. The hair that kinks and coils and twists. And that's nappy and that has the texture of wool. And I believe that if you think of your hair, if you have 4D hair, 4C, 4D, think of it like material. How would you care? We have to learn to care for this kind of woven, knitted material that grows out of our hair, out of our head. And if you have wool, you wouldn't use the lotion or an oil every day. You wouldn't need to. Just think, you don't need oils. You can use them if you want to, but 4D, 4C hair doesn't need oil. Just think, if you were in a forest or on an island or just somewhere where you didn't have access to products, what do you think would happen to your hair? Do you think it would break off and you'd be bald? No, it would grow, it would flourish. You know, why is it that straighter textured hair doesn't need oil, but we feel that our kinky hair needs oil? Don't be scared of the dryness. So, it doesn't need moisture. This hair wants to be dry. In fact, it repels water. In that, you know, if your hair is wet, don't you notice that the water beads up all over and you can shake it out and the water falls out? This hair texture doesn't need to be moist in any way, shape, or form. In fact, it's at its best when it's dry. Now, that doesn't mean dry and brittle. If it's brittle, and you know, if you can feel it and it just feels not, it feels like harsh, then you've stripped it and you've probably been oiling it. And so then your hair is going to get used to the oil. And if you stop oiling it, it's going to be parched. It's going to think it needs oil. It's kind of like your skin in a sense, where if you use a lot of stuff on it, then your skin is going to get used to that. And if you stop, your face will feel tight. But really, you don't have to do all of that. So your hair wants to be dry. It repels water. And because of that, it dries really fast. It dries really fast. And when you want to curl it, all you need to do is just mist it with water and then curl it. Use your flexi rods or your perm rods, and it will dry really fast and the curls last longer. So the only time you need oil or moisture, like some kind of oil or cream, is if you're combing through the hair. So if you're a loose natural. But if you've got locks and you want to curl your hair and what you're doing is piecing it and then spraying it and then using some sort of locking moisturizer or cream or oil and then curling it, when you take the curls out, the curls are going to drop much quicker and they're not going to set that well. Try it. Try it. The curls last so long and they set much quicker when you don't use oil or any kind of moisture. The only thing I use is shampoo, citrus-based shampoo that I get from the health store. And that's it. And for maintenance, all I do after I wash it is separate at the roots so that I keep these locks and I don't get congos. And I check the ends once in a while for fluff. But I never, ever, 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 ever get lint. And so I never have to soak my hair in vinegar. You don't want to do that. You really soaking your hair in vinegar and baking soda, some people are incorporating that into their monthly routine or what have you, but vinegar is not, you don't want to use vinegar on your hair if you don't have to. But if you use oils, you're gonna get lint. It's just inevitable, and then you're going to have to try and dissolve it using vinegar. But you don't want to put vinegar on. You see, my hair, your hair, if you drink water and you eat well, then your hair is going to be naturally, it has a natural softness. It's soft to the touch, but it's dry, it's not moist. There's nothing left in there, you know? So I strongly recommend that you experiment with not using any products. You see, no one wants to hear me say that, especially if you make products and you make oils. You know, no one really wants to hear that, but that's okay. Don't worry. There are people out there that love products and they'll happily use it. But I'm talking to those of you who you're still looking for an easier way to wear your hair. But the thing is, so, you know, if you twist your hair, then you're gonna feel like you need product to keep it twisted. But twisting is a style. You don't have to twist. If you feel like you need to twist your hair, I know I'm repeating myself from what I've done in other videos, but it's worth repeating. If you feel like you need to twist your hair, then what it is that's happening still is you're denying yourself. You're denying your kinks and your coils and your nappiness. You're denying that. And that's just conditioning. You know, we've been under a spell, and the marketing people that market products, they know how to tap into that spell that we've been under, thinking that we need something to slick our hair or to get rid of the kinks. It's still, some of that is still with us, even though we've gone through the natural journey and now we're into the lock journey. And we still feel that we need to use some sort of smoothing, moisturizing product. But if you have 4C, 4D hair, you don't need moisture. The hair wants to be dry, not brittle, but it wants to be dry. And if you still feel like you need product to tame the kinks and to tame the fuzziness and the furriness, you want to first admit that you're still under the spell of thinking that you need to get rid of your nappiness. And that's not the case. It's the best thing for you. It's the perfect hair for you. So, when people say, oh, my hair doesn't stay in a style, the twist doesn't stay, well, it's a style. A style can only stay for a few days, really, until you either sweat it out or ready to wash it out. But twisting your hair, be careful. I see a lot of folks with twisted hair and they're going bald. They twist it and then it's a beautiful updo, but when you look, it's so scalpy that after a while, when you twist in that same area, just imagine consistently twisting, you pull out the hair and you're gonna lose that hair. So be careful with the twisting. You don't have to twist to lock your hair. Even if you have straight hair, you don't have to twist. It's just a different process. But if you have kinky, coily, nappy hair, that's what the kinks and the coils are for. It's to twist. It wants to twist. It wants to hold on to itself. You don't have to force twist it. Okay? A word about Dr. Bronner's, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to try a style. You also don't need clips or rubber bands at all. Your hair wants to hold on to itself. So, a word about Dr. Bronner's. Dr. Bronner's, I like and I use Dr. Bronner's. I use it every day, but you know where I use it? On my skin. I use it to bathe with because it's oil-based, you see? And if you use Dr. Bronner's, even if you dilute it, but if you use Dr. Bronner's to wash your kinky, coily, nappy hair, it's gonna leave a residue. It's gonna leave just a little, haze of gray. I know, because when I started locking, I was using diluted Dr. Bronner's, and it left a residue, and I could see it. I got out the shower and I was like, what is this haze? It was a very light sort of grayish haze. And I was like, oh no, can't use that anymore. And then that's when I went to the health food store and found another product to wash my hair with. And I don't condition. You don't have to condition your hair. So hopefully you can see it. I know my wall in the background, it's not white, but hopefully you can see. This style, so quick and easy. It's like a pompadour. You just take a few locks from the front and just bring it around, and then you've got that. And no elastics. You see, the thing is, when you braid your hair and then you use the elastic and tighten it at the end, you weaken the ends, and before long they're gonna fall off. As well, by the way, if you've been twisting and then you decided to freeform, and over time you're gonna start seeing the ends are really weak and dangly, it's because you were twisting. And for the length of the hair that you've been twisting, eventually it just weakens the hair over time. You want strong hair from root to tip. So be careful with the elastics, but you don't need it. This was so easy, and there's no tension on my head at all. It's light, it's like nothing, and it looks so great. I just did it quick and easy, right? If I take my time, I would maybe take 2 more locks and have it a little lower, or you can adjust it or whatnot, but I think that's cool, right? And do another style. Shake them dreads. Shake them dreads. So, I really like TonyDaily.com. She's a Canadian entrepreneur and she sells a lot of hair and other products, but a lot of hair accessories. And she makes these, oh, I don't remember what she calls them, like tube, what is it? Something, they're tubes. TonyDaily.com. If you go to her website, she sells a bunch, and I have a bunch of them in different colors. So what I like about these tube wraps is you don't have to fuss with like big pieces of material to put your hair up in a wrap. So what you do, you put it, oh, I should have got 2 if you have 2, but anyway. So you have the one, put all my locks forward. All right. You kind of do basket weave, which is what I did with the other style, where you just go back and forth with the hair to kind of keep it. No tension, no clips, no nothing. And when I get kind of close to the front-ish, oh, I left one out, tuck it in. I take a few locks from the front of my head and tie it just to create and then I keep doing that. Take 2 locks from the front, tie them in the back, right? Do a couple more. Take from the front, tie it in the back. Right? It's just to kind of give it the shape. And then you bring the wrap up. Oh, they're doing work outside. Hopefully you can still hear me. So what I love, oh, good timing. What I love about these wraps is that they're light. I don't have to tie anything really tight. So when it comes to these last few pieces, I might take the longer ones, tie them to the back. I mean, like, you can keep doing this. Take from the front and tie it to the back, or just tuck it in. Fold and tuck is the name of the game, I'm finding, which I really like, because it's easy and it looks good. So, and there's like a side wrap. Just kind of position it where you want. Now, if I had my other one, I would now put that up, and then you get like 2 different colors. So it looks like I need to scooch down now because my head is tall. So I don't know if this style, if you're in a car, I don't know if it would work. You'd have to have a lot of room, or if you're tiny. But I don't know, I haven't gotten into a car, but I don't think this would fit. So keep that in mind. But, you know, here's the back. It's not tight at all. And it looks like I've been wrapping it around when it's just the tube wrap. And it's just easy. And again, like, I feel like there's something up there, but it's not heavy. And my hair is getting pretty long. It's almost mid-back. And I have 80 locks on my head, and they're not skinny, like they have size. And it's a bit damp. So I just wanted to show you those couple of styles and share with you, you know, just some reminders about what we feel we need from what we already have. You see, this hair, I'm convinced, this kinky, coily, nappy 4D hair is the original hair. You see, when you flat iron 4D, 4C hair, bone straight, do you remember? I remember. It is so straight. It gets straighter and lighter and like bone straight. Every hair texture is in this hair texture. I mean, you need to stretch it out and then use heat, but you get bone straight hair and then all the way to kinky coily. I feel like this texture hair, it really is at the beginning of all the other textures. You can achieve every other texture with this hair, but you can't achieve this hair if you already have bone straight hair. But this hair has all the other hair textures in it. And so you don't need anything. You don't. If you feel that you do, it's your own psychology that you want to check in with. And I mean, I'm still under a spell because I separate, right? So to some degree, I feel like I need to do that because accepting full big Congos, I am not there yet. I think I'll get there, especially as it gets longer and I start allowing some of them to get bigger because I'm getting used to this, because there was a time when even this would have been a bit too thick for me, you know? So I think we're all evolving. But for those of us that are still tied to the need to moisturize and twist, I want you to know you can let that go. You don't have to do it. It's not a necessity, it's a choice. And twisting your locks, that's a style. It's not a necessity. Okay? And on the other side of that is a lot of freedom and beauty and self-acceptance and a free mind, you know? You don't want to be, the freedom that is yours, like you can have that. You just need to choose that. And it's going to take time because it took me time to get to this point, but just be open to it. Don't be scared of the dry hair because your hair is supposed to be dry. It's not supposed to be like hay. If it is, then something's off. But you don't want to be tied to any product. If it's not food, then you don't need it. The only thing you need is food. And shea butter is food. It comes from the shea nut tree, right? So I use shea butter on my skin. That's food. I eat food. That's food. The shampoo, that I purchase. But I'm sure there's a product, a natural oh, look at black soap. I could probably use black soap, which is plantain, right? That's food. So, you know, the earth provides everything that you need to survive. If you think you need to go out and buy a product, then just know that there's something mentally that you feel you need, but that's not the reality. Okay, so that's it. All the best to you. Good luck in your journey. I'm still watching tons of videos, you know, just watching everyone else's journey, and it's so great. We are still evolving, and our eyes are opening to our natural selves. And let's be honest, you know, we've been in the dark about who we are for centuries, especially if you are you know, if you are Afro descendant here in the diaspora, and even on the continent, you know, we've really been brainwashed into not accepting aspects of ourselves, and it needs to, we're ready now. We're ready to fully accept ourselves. And so good luck to you on your journey for doing that, and stay inspired. I stay inspired and that's the best way to do it. Okay, so there you go. And on and on and on and on. Remember when Erykah Badu came out? You know, and she had her head wrap. So beautiful. So enjoy. Take care, and I'll see you again. The next video I'm going to do, it's going to be all curled up. Oh my gosh, the curls are so fun. And I'll do a few more styles, and we'll check in. All right, all the best. Take care.